Ryan and I had asked both the players, we had talked last week about struggling on that first day. What was the difference this week in getting off to a better start that first day?
We got the results on the road with the win. I'm not sure it was still as clean as we can be for it. We're still wrestling. I do feel this week, Monday, was the best practice we've had of the year. Katie knows we're always trying to go 1 degree better in it. The consistency is the goal, and so we were not as consistent as we can be, but more consistent than what we've been. I think, to be honest, Iowa State was missing a middle, which was key, and I think they were slow to adjust and find some offense and defense. They lost both offense and defense in that middle. I'd like to take credit for us getting better, but we did what we needed to do for sure in that. But I felt like we were able to attack in a few more places than they were both nights.
So that practice you talked about on Monday practice, that was so good. Was that last week going into Iowa State?
That was this Monday, and so I was really, really, really pleased with it. We commercialed Iowa State. That's normally the one that we always charter. And so on the way there, we saw Iowa State, but then we had to turn around in midair and fly back to Kansas City because of wind and visibility. Refueled, and then we tried it again later that night. So we got there, several hours later on Thursday night, and then played Friday, 4:00 game Saturday. So the charter would have been good. We'd probably be home by 9:00 on Saturday night, but stayed the extra night, left the airport, and then they lost their luggage on the way back. So we're still missing some bags from that trip. So that delayed us a little bit. And then AJ, we had kind of a medical issue on our stop on the way back. So I had to divert and drop her off at the hospital, and took some hour, took an hour or two to figure that out. I stayed at the hospital. The team came back. So we ended up getting back. We all got back like 9, 10 o'clock. Maybe, I don't know, what was it, 8:30 for you guys on the bus? 8?
Yeah, close to 7:30.
7:30. So,
still late day.
Still like over 24 hours later than we're used to. And then it was an early Monday practice than normal. And, I was ready for them to be dragging. It's a short week. And the character really shined through. Like that, like I said, I came out of Mondays feeling very optimistic. And I did mention I thought our floor defense was very good both nights, but that kind of set the tone for us on Fridays. I guess, and going back to our floor defense was very tenacious, and our identity is starting to come, and it's a goofy tenaciousness that's coming from our ninjas and our floor defenders, and that I think Chanel's personality, that would probably be a way to describe her.
Coach, number 2 ranking again this week. I know you're ready to see it become number 1, but do you feel like, in being able to see where the program started, where it is now, do you feel like the team just has this expectation that they should be number 1, that they expect to be number 1, just kind of by the end of the season?
We got to still handle what's right in front of us. And, that's West Virginia, or that's being successful in the gym today. And yeah, it's just, I think we're emotionally drained, and we're trying to have more daily victories. And, we came off a year where like every day, man, that was a great practice. That was a great practice. We're getting good, or, left and right, you're seeing a lot of good things. And we're just growing as a team. We're having those, it's not coming as rapidly as it had before, but we also had that big break. So I don't even know if we're paying attention. The girls are paying attention to the rankings much. Like last year, it affected the seeding. So it's like, to me, to be a top 4 seed is a deal breaker trying to get to the final 4. Like there's not many that are seeded top 4, outside of top 4, that get to the final 4, because that home court advantage, really adds up there at the end. So everyone's, the teams that find themselves maybe a top 8, they're all really scrambling to try and be that top 4 to get that seed, and then everyone upsets it from there. But not knowing what the tournament looks like I'd love to be a top 4 seed, and maybe we're hosting games in April for the tournament. We'll see. We've heard about kind of a bubble deal and everybody playing Omaha. We've heard we could be 1 in Texas too, and we could play each other in the first round of the tournament because they might be regionalizing it, and
wow.
you just play the ranked teams in your region, regardless of ranking. So, that's to be determined, I guess, on that. So we do want to play for a Big 12 championship, and we got that stupid loss to Kansas the start of the year hanging over our heads. So, but we're still in control, and we just know we got to be doing better, and we got to roll out this weekend being safe and healthy, and then roll into Texas next week playing our best volleyball.
Ryan, since you mentioned that Kansas loss, how much does that stick with you, knowing that, that could stand in the way of maybe at least a share of a conference championship, knowing that, you probably have to go in there and sweep Texas twice.
Yeah. And that's, you can only move forward. And one, we haven't won in Texas before. So to be able to do it twice and make it, we're always trying to do what's nearly impossible anyways. And that's the task in front of us. Texas is playing really, really clean this year. They've upgraded at a couple positions, and I think we're both 1 and 2 most Big 12 stats going through with it. So, ask me that question if we split with them, if we can get through this weekend and then we split with them. But no, I've we're always learning, and I feel I was a rusty coach going into that first weekend, and it cost us, and maybe need to trust my gut on some other things a little bit too. We were just kind of guessing, trying to navigate through how to bring everyone back, and again, everybody's dealing with healthy kids and different things, and Sedgwick went down right before, and then Campbell Soup didn't get on the bus. She got strep that day, so we fixed it on the fly, but not enough, and it is what it is. So that loss was on me, I think, in just trying to prepare, and hindsight's 2020. I would have done some things differently for sure.
Is this maybe the best West Virginia team you guys have played? They've won, I think, 4 in a row, and I noticed they cracked the top 15 poll this week.
They've always been really good, actually, and maybe I would say underachieve a little bit. They got some firepower on the outside. They got some length in the middle. They did graduate a good opposite. So, I think they've been able to stay healthy for the most part. They do have the they're sitting in third, but they have the top half of the conference left. So, they have us twice, they have Texas twice, and then I think they have Iowa State, Oklahoma. Is that the last one? So, it's possible they don't win another one, but it's possible they've, that momentum's helping them carry on. I think they played 5 setters. I think they did 5 in a row, 5 setters. And, so they've the K-State losses, I think, were both in 5, and then it's a split Iowa State, and then TCU, both wins were in 5. I think TCU outscored them, but, they won more sets. So it's, we need to not let it turn into like an Oklahoma first night type match for sure.
Any concerns of looking ahead?
I don't think we are, just because we feel like we haven't played our best volleyball yet. We haven't had a clean match start to finish that we're really, we talk about the side out phase, and we talk about the point scoring phase. Volleyball, there's 6 rotations. So there's the side out phase in row 1 and the point scoring phase in row 1. And we'd really like to win all 12 phases the match. If we can go back last year and we look through it, we're getting these sweeps. Like we were consistently at least winning 10 to 11 of those phases. And right now we've been winning really, or maybe hitting our standards only 4 to 5 times of these phases that we're trying to do. Side out at 70% each rotation, points scored 48 to 50% each rotation. So, yeah, we've that's something we've always looked at. We looked at it, and we're not there. We're winning the matches, but I guess in football, it'd be, you want to win the line, the line of scrimmage. You want to win the passing yards and the rush, and the rushing yards and the sack game and some of those things. And yeah, we're being greedy and just we won on defense, but our offense, was off at Iowa State. So.
Ryan, since you mentioned the defense, Kara, Defensive Player of the Week, that's 3 weeks in a row that you guys have won it. But was there a particular difference for Kara, or was she just kind of in the right position?
We looked at some different lineups. I would say Marika didn't start at Iowa State, and then suddenly had 8 kills in that third set when she got in, and that's normally not a motivating factor, not one that I am using all the time, but maybe I've even gotten away from it. Bree Coleman did great things and really battled and made big plays and, played for us at Tech. And so I think you had a reinvigorated Kara this past week to get back to some of her strengths. And I think she understood that we're not mad at her, but she was probably underperforming in some areas. And then, personalize some things. And we say it all the time, 100% doesn't mean like you block like 1 or 2 more balls, but suddenly now you're blocking everything versus a lot less. Blocking was a focus. Kara's 11 assist blocks were assist blocks. So I do feel Callie got better. Marika got better. Yasti and Lauren, KJ got better also alongside her, so they were all up. They all had 3 to 4 with it as well. Iowa State probably set a few more tight balls than they should have, I thought, on night 2 as well. So, but we got our job is to get over there and grab it and block them anyways.
You mentioned AJ. How is she, or what is she dealing with, or whatever?
I think combination of body and mind. She was both hurt physically, was a last second clear to go on the road trip. And then, probably a little bit of stress, life situation stuff going on.
Is she available this week?
She is available this week. She's been hit and miss this week in practice. But we might be able to see Hannah this weekend. So that's something we're optimistic about. So, and she's looked good when we've seen her in the very, very limited time. So